Hello there everyone, my name is Oversoul, this is Oversoul Gaming, and welcome to my first non-Kingdom Hearts countdown list. Today, since it's close to the end of the year, I will be counting down my personal top 10 games of 2016. While the first Until Dawn game was a narrative-based horror-adventure game where the goal was to keep everyone alive, Until Dawn Rush to Blood is more about keeping yourself alive. As you're strapped into a roller coaster ride from hell, you'll be taken through different locations from Until Dawn on a quite literal rail shooter, as you're given a gun in each hand and equipped with the task of preventing enemies that are coming at you from every side from killing you. The whole game takes place in the mind of one of the crazier characters from the main game as they take a literal descent into madness. As you go through the game, it'll be riddled with jump scares, enemies coming from every direction, and steep drops and jumps that'll make you go, whee! Oh shit! Until Dawn Rush of Blood is definitely a great introduction to VR horror, and a great game to show your friends at a party. The first Watch Dogs was about a broody ex-gangster who got revenge on the former gangmates that killed his niece by hacking a multi-billion-dollar security corporation. Anyways, all of that aside, Watch Dogs 2 is a complete different turn. It's like the jump from Saints Row 2 to Saints Row the Third. It's just wacky and over the top. You play as Marcus, who joins a group of hacktivists known as DedSec, an obvious parody to Anonymous, as they go through and they try to prove that CTOS and Bloom are evil, and that they stand for the people, and they do this by causing traffic accidents, stealing from people's bank accounts, tasering innocent people, getting in fights with the cops, sending people's vehicles to go training into other vehicles and explode. You know, just hacktivist things. If you ignore the obvious plot holes in the story, Watch Dogs 2 is actually at its most fun during the core gameplay, especially some of the new hacking abilities like being able to send vehicles into other vehicles and watching them go boom. It really is fun. Layers of Fear is a horror-themed walking simulator, which means that there's no fear of a game over, but that doesn't mean that it's not scary. You play as a painter who is slowly descending into his own madness as he walks around his mansion at night. The walls begin to warp, rooms begin to change, disembodied voices, creepy dolls follow you around, paintings fly off the wall, and of course there's the visions of his dead wife that appear every once in a while to taunt you and just scare the holy shit out of you. As you go through the mansion, awaiting with bated breath the next scripted jump scare that will come out to make your heart shit all over itself, you'll pick up documents revealing backstory about what happened here, what happened to the wife, what happened to the child, and you'll begin to slowly come upon the realization that this horror game wants you to do something that most horror games wouldn't. Completely turning the horror cliche on its head, which is one of the things I appreciate. But I won't spoil it, I'll just let you to figure it out for yourself. Just remember, children, don't look back.
Coil upgrade to the leaf suit allows pathfinders to grapple onto certain target points within a limited range.
Valley is an underrated gem. In fact, I guarantee a lot of you who are watching this have probably never even heard of it, but it came out earlier this year on PSN and Steam and maybe Xbox Live, I'm not sure, but anyways. Valley is a first-person platformer exploration game with some shooting elements where you play as a guy who goes to this place known as the Valley, where there was once a secret government research facility, and you come upon one of the research projects, the Leaf Suit, which allows you to run faster, jump higher, and bring things back to life, or kill them using the beams of life-giving or life-taking away. I don't think that's what they're called, but that's what I'm calling them. As you go through the valley, you start to slowly uncover the secrets behind this facility and what happened here, and you realize that not everything is what it seems, and not every other living creature in this valley is exactly friendly. Although I won't say any more than that because it's pretty fantastic. If you like first-person platformers, This game is really good. Plus, just running and jumping for such long periods is so fun. Firewatch is a walking simulator, but not a horror one, although some parts would have you thinking otherwise. But you play as a guy named Henry, who after some severe troubles at home decides he just needs to get away from it all, and the best way to do that would to be a fire tower watch guy at a national park, because nothing weird ever happens in the forest, right? Anyways, you spend a good portion of the game having conversations with the disembodied voice of your coworker Delilah over the walkie-talkie. Even though these dialogue options don't serve to change the story in any true manner, they serve as a good form of companionship in this otherwise empty wilderness. Now, what starts off as just a routine mission to go stop some skinny-dipping campers from lighting off fireworks quickly turns into a mystery thriller as Henry starts getting stalked, campers go missing, and it's up to him and Delilah to figure out what in the hell is going on here. Thumper is a rhythm game that markets itself as a rhythm hell game, a genre I'd never heard of until now, and after playing it, I completely understand the meaning of it. Rhythm hell is an understatement. Thumper is an extremely unforgiving rhythm game that seems easy at first and lulls you into a false sense of security, but the further in you go, the more ridiculous it gets, truly putting your reflexes to the test. I hope all those QuickTime events from Until Dawn came in handy. Another thing that Thumper has that most rhythm games don't is boss fights. Bringing in bosses at the end of each level set where you have to make sure that you hit every note just right or you won't damage the boss. Having to go through 3 different sets of beats before you fully beat the boss on top of it, a la Legend of Zelda style. 3 strikes and you're out. Thumper is definitely a rhythm game that will make even the most hardcore of Guitar Hero and Audio Surf players grinding their teeth. It's also playable in VR, which I highly recommend because the depth perception is fantastic. Top all this off with a fantastic soundtrack and you have yourself one hell of a rhythm hell game. World of Final Fantasy is the nostalgia trip that nobody asked for, but everyone got anyways, and we're kind of glad that we did. A surprisingly cool take on the Final Fantasy mytho. World of Final Fantasy feels like Ni no Kuni meets Pokemon. A couple of twins wake up to find out that they were once great warriors known as Mirage Keepers, and now they must go around recollecting these mirages and fulfilling their destiny once again, traveling throughout the world of Grimoire, fighting and collecting monsters, and helping famous Final Fantasy characters throughout their adventures as they travel from town to town, solving problems, saving the day, and learning more about their mysterious past. World of Final Fantasy is definitely a great grab for anybody who's looking for the nostalgic days of yore when Final Fantasy was a turn-based classic.
Amazing. The power of the gods in the palm of your hands.
Never dreamt I'd see lore come to life before my very eyes.
Final Fantasy XV isn't the best game in the series, but it's definitely a strong entry. A fresh start for the series and a Final Fantasy for fans and newcomers alike, as it introduces the series to full-fledged real-time combat and a vast, much bigger open world than any we have ever seen before, summons the size of skyscrapers, and so much more. Following the story of young Prince Noctis after the events of Final Fantasy XV Kingsglaive, he goes out on the road with his 3 childhood friends in hopes of finding the ancient swords of the kings and reclaiming his throne from the evil empire. It's a story that's been there and done that before, but the gameplay is where it really shines. Traveling the open world, doing side quests, and listening to other Final Fantasy soundtracks as you drive around the beautiful scenery. Mix that with a soundtrack by Yoko Shimomura and you have one hell of a fun game. Inside, much like Limbo, is a side-scrolling dark adventure game with just a smidgen of horror and a great air of mystery. You play as a faceless young protagonist who is going deeper and deeper into this underground facility that holds a very, very weird secret. As you go through this facility, you get chased down by other faceless protagonists, including businessmen in suits, dogs, and even a creepy lady in the water. Solve puzzles, jump across platforms, and try not to die as you make your way from point A to point B, figuring out what to do next, what levers to pull, what boxes to push. Inside is definitely a very creepy game that will have you on the edge of your seat and wondering what in the fuck is going on all the way until the very ending of the credits.
Scusi.
You're not supposed to be back here.
My game of the year, Uncharted 4. In my personal opinion, the best Uncharted in the franchise and one of the best PlayStation 4 exclusives currently. Uncharted 4 sees a smarmy adventurer and renowned treasure hunter Nathan Drake finally settled down with Elena and looking for the easy life, that is, until his once thought dead brother Samuel Drake shows up and lures him into adventure once more. What ensues is a crazy wild roller coaster ride of emotions and fun as the two brothers journey off together to find the lost pirate treasure of Avery. But of course, it just wouldn't be an Uncharted game unless they were being relentlessly hunted by mercenaries the entire time. But hey, at least the mercenaries are American this time, so no one can convince them of being racist.
I hope I don't go to hell for this.
There you have it. That's my top 10 games of 2016. What did you think of my list? Did you like it? Let me know in the comments down below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What are your top 10 games? Please comment down below and tell me. I am genuinely curious and I would really like to know. Keep in mind that this list is nothing more than a bunch of opinions, my personal preferences and tastes, and it does not reflect the majority stance in any way whatsoever. So anyways, thank you all so much for watching, and I will catch you possibly on another day, definitely at another time, and likely in another video. Okay, goodbye!